Hi, fifth graders. It's Miss Lauren. For this week's technology video, I was going to have a fun, kind of like a fun little Google slide project for you to complete, just so that we can kind of look at Google Slides and see all the different things that you can do with it. We probably won't cover them all today, but I just want to show you a few things for some of your projects that you guys are completing. So the next time that you have a Google slide, when you're done putting all the important things in, you can make it really cool by adding some effects. So I am going to go ahead and open up my Google Apps right here, and I'm going to click on Google Slides. And you can follow along with me. You can just watch it the whole way through. And then after you watch my video, you can either go back through, watch it again, and pause it as you go, or you can just complete your own slide when you're done. So when you're creating a Google slide, depending on what you're working on, there's some different slides here. We're going to use blank for today's example. So you'll click on that and you can see it's working because the circle's up there spinning. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to do a couple things that you might need when you're doing a project with your Google slideshow. So the first thing is that there is the first slide that pops up offers to have you add a title to it and then to add a subtitle to it. So this is pretty cool because depending on what project you're doing, this is where you would add your title and your byline. A byline is when you introduce who is creating the project, and that would be you. It's by you. So to change this, click to add title. You just click inside of the box. And as you can see, the words are they kind of disappeared. So now I'm just going to create a title. Let's do my favorites. Okay. So you're going to title this My Favorites. And then if you click on where it says click to add subtitle, I'm going to put a byline, capital B for BY, your semicolon, and then your name. So whenever you're doing a project, this is kind of how you'd want it to look. So there's that. I'm not going to change any of the font quite yet. I'll come back to that in a second. The next thing I want to show you is how to add a new slide to your slideshow. So in the upper left-hand corner here, there's a plus sign, and that would be where you would add a new slide. You can also click on Insert and Slide, or excuse me, it's Format, Slide. So I apologize. You click on Slide and then a new slide, but the plus sign here is like a quick key to add a new slide. So go ahead and click on your plus key. There's your new slide. Now, let's say that we want to delete these boxes. To delete these boxes, all you have to do is click on the actual lines of the boxes, and it will highlight it blue. And then you can hit backspace on your computer. And it deleted. And I'm going to do that to the next one. This is where I have this, it looks like a cross kind of with 4 arrows. Just click on that and delete it. You can either click backspace or your delete button, and that's going to remove that. Okay, so now I am going to show you a couple of things. First thing that I want you to do is I want you to think of 3 of your favorite, let's say 3 of your favorite things. Let's pick 3 topics. I want you to pick your favorite song, your favorite ice cream, and your favorite type of pizza, or your favorite place that you'd like to go. So your favorite song, your favorite type of ice cream, and your favorite place. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to insert pictures. So I am going to go up here and I'm going to insert a picture. Insert image. And you can search the web to find an image. I'm going to start with trying to find a picture of my favorite place. My favorite place is the beach, as long as it's white sand. So I typed beach in here and then I clicked enter. And I should have a variety of different beach pictures that I can choose from. Yes, this one right here. I'm going to double click this. So in order to get that into my Google slideshow, I can either click on it and then click insert. See the check mark? And then I could click insert, or I can double click and it will show up that it's creating an image. And there's my picture. It's a really big picture, right? And it takes up my whole slide. So I am going to actually minimize my picture to make it smaller. If you go up to the corners where these boxes are, you can actually click on your mouse and then drag it to make it smaller. And when you let go, it should minimize the picture, should make it smaller. Okay, so now that's my favorite place. And I'm trying to think of how I want to organize my pictures. I think I'm going to do this one big on the top, and then I'll do 2 smaller on the Google slideshow. I just trying to be creative and have my own design here. All right, so now I'm going to go back to insert, and I'm going to go to image. And search the web. And I'm going to pick cookies and cream. All right there, cookies and cream ice cream. And that's my favorite type of ice cream. So I'm just going to look for a picture of it. And I am going to double click to add that in. Or you can also put a check mark on it and then click insert. So there's my ice cream. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I want to insert, why don't we do our favorite musician? Let's just do that, okay? So if you have somebody that you really love to listen to, go to image, and I'm going to search the web, and I don't know if any of you guys know who Stevie Nicks is, but Stevie Nicks is my favorite all time. So I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to go to image. I'm going to search the web. I'm going to X out of that. And, oh, why did it do that? Insert, image, search the web. All right, backspace. And then I'm just going to look for Stevie Nicks. And Stevie Nicks popped up. She's the singer of Fleetwood Mac, if any of you guys are wondering. So there she is. And I'm going to insert Stevie Nicks in the bottom area there. So now here's, I'm going to add, I'm not going to do anything over here yet, and I'm going to show you why. So first thing I want to do is I want to add some like frames on this. And in order to add the frames to the pictures, you need to click on the picture, and then that blue box type will come back up. And you can actually add a border right here. As you go across these, you'll see you can add a border the border weight is how heavy it is. The border color is what color you want on your border. And then a border dash is the type of border you want. So for example, on this one, I think it would be really nice if I added, let's take a look at my colors. I think I'm going to go with something that's different colored to really make it pop or stand out. I'm going to go with the dark blue. And then for my border weight, this is how thick I want it around my picture. And I'm going to try with 8 first. And I think that looks kind of nice. And then I get to pick a border dash. That means what kind of design do I want around my pictures? And I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to repeat that process for these last 2. So for my cookies and cream, I'm going to stick with a basic black. My border weight, I'm going to go smaller on this one with 4. And for my border dash, I'm going to pick a different design to try something different. And then for my picture with Stevie Nicks, I want to tie it into this picture a little bit. So I think I'm going to go with like a green or a blue. So I'm thinking design there. This one right here. And for my border weight, I'm going to go with an 8 again. I think that's a little too thick. Excuse me. So I'll go with 4. And I think for my border design, I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to stick with this one this time. Okay, so now I have my title slide, and then I have 3 of my favorite things. The next thing I'm going to do is insert some text into this slide. So to do that, I'm just going to go insert text box, because text is like writing. And when you do that, you're going to get a cross. It almost looks like it's like a cross or 2 lines going across each other. And I am going to hold my mouse down and I'm going to drag the box out. And you're going to see that a box will be created. You're going to want to add a border to that as well. And now you can see that there's a blinking line in there. I can type inside of that box. So above, I'm just going to put the beach. Oops, the beach. My favorites, cookies and cream, and Fleetwood Mac. My favorite band, Stevie Nicks, is the lead singer of Fleetwood Mac. I want to make this bigger, so I am going to highlight my words. I am going to make it, I'm going to increase my font until I think it looks pretty nice. I think that looks pretty good. And I'm also going to change it from Arial to something a little more fun. And you can get creative with yours. You can change the color of your font. If you go here, not fill color, it's right over here, text color. So if you'd want to, you can change and mess around with that a little bit. Cookies and cream. I'm just going to do those 2. Change my color a little bit. Just like that. And you guys can mess around with this, really. I mean, it's fun. So I would just mess around with it and see what kind of design you can come up with. So to move that down and center it, I hit enter. You can also actually highlight this and you can center align it. That means where do you want it moved? And if I center align it, now it'll be the center of my box. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you is to go back to the title page. And we are going to add a background color because this is really boring to have just that bold white, kind of. If you like it, that's fine. But sometimes you're going to need to enter a background color. So you're going to pick background and then color. And you are going to choose any color that you like. You can also design your own color by going on custom down here and customizing a color. So you can choose. There's also different theme colors. I think I'm going to go with a blue. You can also choose an image for a background here. Click done. The only other thing that I want to do is I want it to be on this slide too. So again, I'm going to go to background, color. I'm going to find my color. You can do different ones, but I'm going to do the blue for both. The only other thing that I want to do is I want to change my font to match my other font on my second slide. So I'm double clicking on that to make the box pop back up. You cannot change anything on the slides unless that box is highlighted. So I'm double clicking on this, my favorites, and I'm going to highlight that. And then I'm going to go ahead and change my font. I'm going to make it bigger. And you can choose two different ones. You don't have to do the same for both. So it's kind of fun. Okay, so there's a little bit about editing a Google slide. So I just showed you today how to add a second slide on, and you can add as many as you want by clicking on that plus button. To delete it, all you have to do is highlight it. You can see the yellow goes around it, and you delete it. So I'm going to add a slide, I'll show you, and delete by hitting backspace, and that will take your slide out. You can also drop and drag these. You can move the slides around. As you can see what I did just there. Move it back down. So you can do that if you figure out that the organization or order of your slides isn't exactly what you want it to be. So yeah, so that's pretty much some of the basics of editing and having some extras in your Google Slides. And the only thing other than this that I'm going to show you is how to save it and make sure that you have it saved to your Google Drive. You can just click in this box. And when you click in the box that says Untitled Presentation, it's going to grab the title from your title slide. So it works out perfect. My favorites. And when you click out of the box, the blue highlight will go away from that. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed. This is just a little fun thing for you guys to do this week with some technology. And hopefully you can carry this on into other classes when you're working on Google Slides. I hope you guys all have a fantastic week. Talk to you soon.